Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Tea with Kimberly. So please grab something yummy to drink and maybe pen and paper, because what I want to share with you is a little series where I'm going to take you through some ideas around embracing change in midlife. So, midlife, according to the American Psychological Association, hard word, is they say it's 36 to 64, right? So, I really like to think of midlife as maybe 35 to 65, 75. So wherever you fit within this. I just wanted to share some ideas because midlife is a big time of change, of course. And sometimes we get stuck up in all the challenges that come with it. They're our choice. And I'm going to start by focusing on finding joy in the journey, in this midlife journey. But for you, keeping in mind that wherever you fall in the spectrum of midlife, I hope that this will still be a helpful Tea with Kimberly episode for you. Okay, so as we think about finding joy in the journey, on this lifelong journey that we're on, and I like to think of midlife too, it's the second half of life. So, one thing whenever I turned 50, I was like, oh, I've been alive more than I'm going to be alive, which was a little like jarring. And so, with midlife, it comes a lot of like clock is ticking potentially, or like, oh, there's no way I could do something different. I'm like too old, or, all these sorts of things that we tell ourselves or that society tells us. And so I want to give you some ideas, just starting with this first part of this series is finding joy in the journey. So I have a few ideas here, but one thing I want to start with is revisiting old passions. So as you can see behind me, I have a ballet tutu that I've worn 3 years in a row at an adult ballet festival and my ballet bar. And so for me, a childhood passion, ballet, grew up doing it, loved it. So for you, what could might that be? I mean, maybe you did a lot of painting as a child, or maybe you were into dance, or maybe you were into karate, or whatever. There's so many things that we took up as children or that we wanted to take up as children. And it's like, why not now? So revisiting those things that either really like got you excited when you were younger and you weren't having to adult yet, or maybe in early adulthood. Really, there's no age limit to this, but thinking about what is a past passion and how do you draw that back into your world? So thinking about what those could be. And I have here too, like midlife, really, it's a perfect time to rediscover hobbies and passions in a way that maybe we felt like, oh, I can't do that. I need to handle my family, or I need to really focus on my career. All those things are great. You can still do that and take care of you and check in with yourself and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? What do I want to be creating in season 2.0 of my life? Number two is like considering exploring additional things, right? So I'll give an example. For me, I recently took up Duolingo because although I know enough French, like very basic French, to get me by when I go to Paris, it's not a problem. And a little bit of Spanish to get me by when I go to Costa Rica, not a problem. It's definitely not fluent by any means. So I started Duolingo because I thought, let me just see if I can like enhance my skills here. And what I love about Duolingo, it gamifies it a little bit, even though I'm not really like typically I'm not into games, like I don't really know them or use them in my regular life, but I love how this does it because Duolingo like taps me regularly. I get an email, I get a text every day. And then, you can earn these gems and I don't know, it's kind of fun. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've done this many days in a row. So there's something about that, right? Of learning something new where also you're held accountable a little bit, not just like, oh, I'm gonna start studying French, right? And then what, right? So is there something that you want to learn or you want to start doing, you want to start exploring, practicing? And is there a way to bring it into your world and with something that keeps you going with it, keeps you motivated with it? And it could honestly just be an accountability buddy. So someone who you're just like, hey, Kimberly, have you been doing how's your French going? How's that book proposal going? Whatever it is that you have somebody kind of checking in with you on, then we're much more likely to keep doing something rather than we're just saying in our head, oh, I'm gonna learn French. Okay. So think about for you, what are some new avenues? So it could be learning a new language, traveling to new places, volunteering, stepping out of your comfort zone. What are some things that would just allow you to feel like you've got something fresh in your life and something that you're excited about. Like I recently found out about I thought I had here's the brochure. I recently found out about and visited the Center for Great Apes, and I'll be reaching out to them soon because I want to go volunteer there. I'm obsessed with orangutans ever since I went to Borneo. And you guys have probably seen on Netflix, there is a wonderful documentary that just recently came out. And then there's all these wonderful jungle school episodes that we can get access to on Amazon Prime or Peacock or different things. And anyway, obsessed with these. So, what I would love to do is go and volunteer. And so, for you, what might be something that you're pretty passionate about, you're pretty drawn to, that you would like to support and nurture, and that also helps you learn and cultivate new skills or bring the skill sets that you already have into a new environment? And then the other thing, as we think about finding joy on this midlife journey, that is not always easy, and I will touch on that, I promise, but is getting as present as possible, right? So, really recognizing and noticing, like, whoo, this isn't feeling very good, or this is feeling overwhelming, or this is feeling exciting, where we tune in with ourselves regularly and then also, is there a way to stay as present as possible? I will say, the day that I went to the Center for Great Apes, the night before had been the Adult Ballet Festival showtime, the night where we got to perform. And I won a gold medal, which was so exciting for my beginner category. And so that was a big highlight. And then the next day to go to see the orangutans, I said to my partner, I'm like, Tim, I don't think I could be any happier right now. Like, something I've worked really hard for months is over and I loved it. But now it allows me to turn my attention to other creative projects and I'm going to go see orangutans. And I don't know if you can tell, but over on my mantle, yeah, you can see for my mantle, there's artwork, and that is done by Kiki, the orangutan, and they finger paint. And I just love it because it's like pink and it looks a little goldy. So I called it leopard. So it's kind of like leopard print to me. So for you, what allows you to get into the present moment? And it could be as simple as really wrapping your hands around a cup of tea, feeling it, sipping it, savoring it, smelling it. So, how can we make these everyday parts of our lives like a little more of a ritual? So, really, I just want to encourage you as you think about finding more joy in midlife, of reconnecting with passions, those old passions or those forgotten passions. Also, exploring new things. Is there someplace you've always wanted to go? Is there a book you've always wanted to read? Is there a trust you've always wanted to create? Is there a cause you've always wanted to be part of? And then last but not least is how do we be present and really create special moments out of the everyday experience? All right. So I hope this helps you as you think about cultivating more intentionality and tranquility in midlife. Thanks so much for tuning in.